Okay, this is a quick how-to on how to do rice biscuits. I'm using some white jasmine flour. I ground this myself in the Vitamix just from organic white jasmine rice. I'm not measuring here, but this is probably, I'm putting in about roughly 2 cups for about 3 decent sized biscuits. I like to make them fresh, so I don't make a whole lot at a time. And I'm going to put in some cheese, homemade cheddar cheese. You can use any kind of cheese you want. This serves mainly as your binder. If you don't want cheese, you can use butter or oil or any kind of seed that has some oil in it. I'm just putting in maybe a cup's worth. And I'm using some homemade baking powder here. You can use store-bought powder, probably for a couple of biscuits, maybe, oh, I'm guessing 1.5 teaspoons of the baking powder. Sorry, but I don't measure anything. A little bit of sea salt, maybe ½ teaspoon of that, or if you like them a little bit saltier, then you do a little bit more than that. Well, my food processor just broke, so I'm going to finish these in a bowl. All I've got in the bowl is about 2 cups of rice flour, about maybe a teaspoon and a half of baking powder, and some shredded cheese. You can use butter or whatever. I'm going to add just enough hot water to melt the cheese and to start it forming dough. I'm starting out with maybe 1/3 cup of water here, and you'll add to this. You want to put in less at first and just get it to where the cheese is melting a little bit. It'll be kind of crumbly, and just add to it as you need it. You don't want a soggy dough. You want a very kind of dry dough, but we're going to want that to get in there and melt the cheese first. And you maybe let that set for a few minutes, let the hot water kind of melt the cheese a little bit, and then we'll stir it up into a dough ball. Okay, we've let our dough set for a while, and you can see that it's crumbly a little bit, but it's moist enough to hold together, and it's picking up the residue that's in the bowl. That's kind of how you know that your dough is ready. It'll form a little bit. Now you're just gonna, I kind of roll it into a log, and then I just pinch off. I'm gonna make 3 biscuits out of this. So I'll just pinch that in 3 places. And now you're just going to basically, very lightly, you don't want to compact this together. You can just kind of seal over any cracks. You're just going to form that into a nice little biscuit. And set it on your cooking plate. I have a little plate. I'm going to do these in the New Wave oven. So you're not mushing hard. You're just very gently forming this. And the dough should just hold together. These little cracks and stuff in it are what's going to keep it light and airy. If you mush it too much, you're going to have a hard as a rock biscuit. And the third one, you don't really want to roll it into a ball. They'll kind of just form on their own a little bit. And see, the bowl is basically empty, just tiny little bit of dough in there. You can push that into something. That's how you know that your dough is ready. Okay, and there's your 3 little biscuits ready to bake. I'm going to put them in the New Wave and bake them, and then you'll see. Now I'm going to bake these in the New Wave, and I'm just going to leave them on high and cook them for probably about 12 minutes. If you're doing these in a regular oven, sometimes I start them out around 8 and then add a little bit more. You can kind of tell by feel when they're done. If you're doing them in a regular oven, I'd say about 375 for maybe 12 minutes. Okay, here's your little biscuits. Nice and golden brown. You'll see they've got little flecks of places that are brown from the cheese. If you use butter, it won't get quite like that, but I'll split one open and show you. Okay, here's the biscuits all done. These are steaming hot. But you can get an idea of the texture. It'll be just a little crusty on the outside, nice and tender on the inside. And slather that up with some butter or jelly, or I'm going to put cheese on mine. Enjoy!